Hey everyone, it's Taylor, also known as Short Sleeve Tea. This is my week 16 and 17 combination video for you guys. I feel like I haven't actually got to sit down and talk to you and tell you about my weekly updates in quite a while. I think it's been 2 weeks since I've had a full-length video for you all, so I hope you guys enjoy this video. I really am going to enjoy making it. I'm super excited for it. So I want to get right into my stat. For those of you who have never been to my channel, I had vertical sleeve gastrectomy surgery, or the VSG surgery, on August 8th, 2016 of this year. Obviously, it's 2016. And my heaviest weight in May of 2016 was 381 pounds. After a 3-month pre-op diet, I had my surgery on August 8th and my weight was 331 pounds. The last time that I talked to you guys, my weight was 270 pounds, and this week I am 263.9 pounds. So that was a little over 6 pounds lost for the last 2 weeks, which is great because it was Thanksgiving, and I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I had a lot of carbs. I did eat a little bit of sugar and it didn't agree with me. I did have my second or third dumping episode where I just felt very, very sick. If you guys don't know what dumping syndrome is, it's more common with gastric bypass patients, but it can happen with sleeve patients as well. You just get really sick, you don't really want to move, your stomach will hurt, sometimes you vomit, sometimes you can't vomit but you want to. I did have a little bit of a dumping episode, but I didn't even eat anything that was bad for me. It was just, I do believe that I ate a little bit of turkey a little bit too fast. And it wasn't Thanksgiving turkey, it was actually deli turkey on my way home from my trip to Pennsylvania. As of week 16, I don't think I had actually lost. In fact, when I got home from my trip, I was 271 pounds, which was 1 pound more than I was when I went up there. I totally expected that. I was not disappointed in the least. I knew that I was either going to stay the same or gain, just because I didn't really count my calories that much. I didn't get a lot of protein in. I was kind of snacking a lot because I was hungry. Not having the protein that I needed and that kind of thing. So now that I am back home, I am back on track. I am doing the ketone test strips to make sure that I am in ketosis. I do follow the ketogenic diet, for those of you who do not know. So I am really excited to say that I am back in ketosis after I knocked myself out of it by eating dressing and other things that I probably shouldn't have. I told you guys, don't worry about if you eat a couple bites of, whatever you want at Thanksgiving, but I might have gone a little bit overboard, just because I was so happy to be around family and there was so much good food, and I'm sure some of you guys identify with that. But hey, we are back on track now and there is nothing to worry about as long as we stick to our guns, we stick to what we are supposed to be doing with our diets. So week 16 was very eventful for me. I went to Pennsylvania on my huge Thanksgiving road trip. It was a 14-hour trip. Me and my husband were sick and tired of being in the car. After all of that time and driving home and going through Atlanta traffic and Anderson, South Carolina traffic was awful. And being in the car that long, I did take some snacks with me. I took a cooler and it had some of the mini Baby Bell cheeses in it. I also brought some deli meat. I brought some peanuts. They're Market Pantry peanuts from Target and they are awesome. I also brought pickles with me. The Oh Snap Dilly Bites were an option for me at a convenience store that I stopped at. They don't actually sell them here anywhere where I have seen, at least in the South or in Georgia, but once we hit, I think, North Carolina, that's where I actually found the Dilly Bites at a Sheetz convenience store, if you guys don't know what that is. But I was super excited about them. They are extremely fresh tasting. They don't have a lot of brine or thick liquid in them. They're just kind of like a light, crisp pickle. The sodium level is a little bit lower than in a regular pickle, so I just thought they were really great, and they were low calorie or no calorie at all actually, but you do have to watch about eating pickles just because of the sodium in them, but those were a very good option for me. So when I actually got to Pennsylvania, my family wanted to go to a couple different restaurants and they wanted to eat together, and I was of course not going to exclude myself from any of that just because of my surgery. I just wanted to make sure I was eating healthier options when we went to the restaurants. The first thing I did eat when I got there was pizza. I scraped the toppings right off of the pizza and didn't eat the bread or the crust, and just ate the cheese and the sauce, which the pizza sauce, if you guys don't know, has a lot of carbs in it, so I just tried to limit myself of that, and then snacked on some of my deli meat later on in the day. You got to do the best with what you have at the time. Of course, being with family and being on vacation, you're not going to get the best health options that you can, like if you were at a grocery store, but like I said, best you can with what you have. Later on in the week, we went to a sub shop and I ate the toppings off of the sub that I got. It was awesome. I am trying to integrate lettuce back into my diet. My surgeon told me to wait until 4 months post-op, but I think given that I can eat nuts and spicy food and I really haven't had any issues with anything food-wise, I thought lettuce is probably not going to be that big of a deal for me. So I am eating small amounts of lettuce at a time and trying to get that back into my diet, just because lettuce can be a little bit irritating to a sleeve. Later on in that week, we did have Thanksgiving dinner. I ate turkey, I ate dressing. I believe in my little mini vlog that I posted, I did put a picture of the plate. It was extremely small. It was smaller than the size of my hand. And I filled it up with whatever I wanted and ate as much as my heart's content, as much as I could, without feeling way super bloated, but I did end up feeling stuffed afterwards. But I guess that's just Thanksgiving for you, whether you are a sleever or just, you know, have a regular size stomach. Everybody likes to get super stuffed on Thanksgiving. We went to a restaurant the last day that we were there. It's called the Dutch Pantry, and we just had breakfast. I believe I had a Western omelet that had like mixed vegetables inside, and it was just an egg. I think I only ate half of it and then gave the rest to my husband. But other than that, I don't really feel that I made too many bad food choices while I was there. Like I said, I just snacked a lot, and I was really hungry that week, and then when I got home, I weighed 271, which was kind of, you know, I'm not gonna say that it's not disheartening to see the scale move up, but I was prepared for that. I don't feel that the same will be for Christmas. I should be able to stay on track with my eating, and I'm actually going to make a lot of the dishes, and it'll be here in Georgia, so it'll be with my family around here, and I will have the opportunity to make some low carb dishes, high protein dishes, and I'm really looking forward to that and seeing if anyone can tell that I have kind of sleevified my food. So this week, week 17, has not really been very eventful. I didn't have any episodes of dumping syndrome, and my weight kind of plateaued the first 3 or 4 days. The scale wasn't moving. It was staying around 271, and then towards Wednesday it dropped, and today is Friday and it dropped again, and like I said, it was 263.9. I actually on Instagram made a post and put my December goals, those of which consisted of getting out of the 260s or below 260, and I may have to change that because I'm already at 263.9 and today's December 2nd, and this is just blowing my mind how fast everything is going for me. I did have a couple days of depression this week where I was getting overwhelmed with my weight and overwhelmed with the journey, and just felt like, what if I stay like this forever? What if my weight doesn't keep moving? Because looking back through my chart that I have, I kind of hit 270 around October 24th, which was mine and my husband's 1-year wedding anniversary. And then after that, I just kind of plateaued and fluctuated between 270 and 278 and 281. Like I told you guys, I was stuck at that stall at 281.2 for about 4 weeks. So I was getting very frustrated, but now the scale is moving. I feel like just when you are about to give up, just when you feel like, okay, I guess I'm stuck at this weight, the scale starts moving again. That probably does have something to do with the fact that I was not in ketosis and my body has gotten used, or had gotten used to the burning of carbohydrates for energy. So once I had to switch out of that and my body starts using fat for energy again, I feel that that is probably a good contributor to why I've actually dropped as much weight as I have. I feel like in the last 3 or 4 weeks, I've dropped, I think it's been 17 pounds in the last 3 weeks. So that's really, really exciting. I'm hoping to just keep this off. I'm not going to lie to you guys, I have not been very good with my exercising, but I did put on my December goals that I want to exercise 2 to 3 times per week, at the very least 2 to 3 times per week. It is extremely difficult to get in your exercising when you have a cold, when you are finishing school, when you are going to Pennsylvania, and if you listen to me saying all this, you understand that I'm just making excuses. And I've got to stop making excuses for why I can't exercise. Even if I have a cold, I could walk around down here, or you know, just bundle up, go outside for a little while, walk around my neighborhood, whatever. Even with school, there's got to be a little bit of downtime, right? I just need to focus on exercising. I know that my body needs it. I love getting out and exercising. It feels great to do that for my body, and I always sleep better, and I just feel more confident when I'm able to do that. So I know I really need to focus on exercising this month, especially when I start slowing down with my weight loss. It's really going to catch up to me if I'm not exercising. I know towards month 6 and 7, your weight does start slowing. I do think mine has started slowing already. I was losing about 20 pounds a month the first 2 months, and I'm going into month 4 post-op, and I think I'm averaging around 15 pounds a month now. And then I know if you follow certain different YouTubers and you watch their stats, they go from losing about 20 to 15 to 10 pounds a month, and sometimes it's 5 pounds a month, way later on after your 1-year surgiversary. So I did want a couple of ideas from you guys. I am doing my holidays after weight loss surgery playlist that I'm going to be making. I'm going to make a couple videos for it. I think I'm going to make my first video this week. Do you guys want to see cheesecake recipes or pies or like pumpkin rolls? Or I'm thinking about doing eggnog, like keto eggnog, sugar-free eggnog type thing. What kind of dessert recipes would you like to see? Because I think I'm going to start off with a dessert. I know I have a lot of different keto recipes that can be kind of an everyday recipe, but also kind of modified to be a holiday recipe. So I don't really need ideas for those. But as far as desserts goes, I'm just curious what you guys like. I was never really a fan of cheesecake or cream cheese or anything like that before surgery, but given that that's one of the main things that you can actually have after surgery as far as dessert goes, with a sugar-free option, I feel like I kind of have to force myself to like it because I like sweets and dessert. So I know that a cheesecake recipe will be in your very near future. So I did just want to update you guys on my surgeon / doctor situation. I still have not communicated with any of them in the last couple of months. As you know from my first couple of videos, I've had trouble with my surgeon. They just don't help me very much. They haven't given me good information. If I called when I was sick or had any issues, they didn't care. I believe in week 8 or 9, or maybe it was even before that, maybe week 5, one of my incisions bust open and they just ignored me for hours as I bled and had to worry and freak out about that happening. They are not very helpful people, to say the least. But in January, when my new insurance starts and it's a brand new year, I'm going to find a really good PCP who is familiar with bariatric patients and weight loss surgery patients, and can keep track of my weight loss for me and my vitamins and my vitamin levels, and just make sure that I'm doing exactly what I need to do and that my body is working the way that it needs to. I don't just want to give up on the doctor's visits because I feel like I can do these things myself. And that I am doing okay and that my vitamins are okay, because the last time that I went to the doctor and had my vitamin levels checked, they actually didn't tell me that I was really low on iron and protein, and then I happened to go to kind of one of those immediate clinic type things, and they saw my paperwork and they said, you need to amp up your protein because it is very low, and your iron is also low, and you might want to supplement your iron, get more meat in, that kind of thing, or else you will become anemic. But of course my surgeon didn't care enough to tell me that. So that's about how my doctor's experience is going as of right now. I'm just not speaking with them or planning on going back to that office at all. So another thing I wanted to mention was that some of you guys had asked me about my pre-op VSG experience. I started my journey on YouTube at week 1 post-op VSG, and I really didn't get very much into my pre-op experience as far as insurance and doctor's visits and my hospital stay and things like that. I never really got into any of that with you guys. I have a lot of people on this channel who have not actually had the surgery yet, and I want them to know how my experience was. So either this week or next week, I'm going to make an additional video for you guys about my pre-op experience, and I'm going to have all the information written down so I know I'm not missing anything, and you guys can know exactly what I experienced pre-op VSG. So the very last thing I want to mention in this video is about my depression and mood swings and how I've kind of learned to pick myself back up after getting down. I have a lot of days where I will look in the mirror and I will see the same girl I was 110 pounds ago. I see the depressed, sad, lost girl who felt like she would never have children or go anywhere in her life staring back at me, and it is very difficult some days. Other days I will catch a glimpse of myself in a mirror at a store or, you know, at the mall or whatever, and I think, wow, I look really narrow. I look kind of thin today. My legs don't look so big. My shoulders are really small. But it's such an up and down battle. I really wish I would have known before this surgery that there were going to be days like this. I wish that I would have known that the scale is not always going to move. And that is something that I want to stress to you guys, because that is the biggest, most detrimental contributor to my depression and my anxiety. Is because I get myself so worked over the scale not moving. And I've talked about this a ton of times to all of you, and I just want you to know there are going to be weeks when the scale doesn't move. There are going to be weeks when you don't lose any weight. I was convinced before this surgery that this was a fix-all, cure-all, solving surgery where I would just have the surgery and continually drop weight week after week after week at a steady pace. That is not the case. There are weeks when you gain. There are weeks when you stay the same. There are weeks when your weight fluctuates throughout the week. You just have to learn how to deal with it, how to deal with looking at the scale and not seeing the number move, and move past that. It has taken me almost, week 17? It's taken me 17 weeks to understand that there are going to be weeks when the scale doesn't move. However, people who have not had this surgery, people who have not gone through such a life-changing experience, do not understand the struggle that we go through. So don't get frustrated when you're talking to somebody who hasn't had the surgery and they don't know what you're talking about. When they think, oh, well, you've lost 5 pounds this month. I wish I could lose 5 pounds this month. But you're thinking, I was supposed to lose like 20. Like, you only have 5 pounds to lose. I have another 100 to lose. They don't get it. I told myself that I wasn't doing anything wrong. I was eating the right amount of protein. I was doing everything I was supposed to do. And I went through a month-long stall. And then 2 or 3 weeks more passed from that. And I still wasn't losing. And I was thinking, you know, I really must be doing something wrong now, because I should have lost. Everyone says that the stalls only last 5 to 6 weeks, and here I am 7 or 8 weeks later and I'm still on a stall. No, no, no. You cannot do this to yourself. This is what I do to myself. This is why I get myself worked up and depressed and upset and anxious, all of the above. This is why I'm having issues, and I've got to stop it. And I'm telling you guys this stuff because I know that some of you are experiencing the same thing. We cannot continue to get down on ourselves. And this is me, this is Taylor, saying I'm going to work on this. I am worthy of this journey. I am okay. I am doing the right things. Even though I don't exercise all the time, that is not detrimental to me. I do get out and I am active and I go around. I'm not just sitting on my ass all day long like I used to do. You know, I am doing what I'm supposed to do, and this is why I'm succeeding. You know, even when the scale doesn't move, if you're doing the right things, you are succeeding. So to wrap this video up, you know, if you guys have any comments or questions, like I said, every time you guys can message me on Instagram, or send me a friend request on Facebook, or comment on any of my videos, and I can tell you about any experience that I've had. I said this in my last video, but if you are week 17 or before, I have been through whatever you are going through, and if you just want to have somebody to talk to, I'm here. You know, I always love lending an open ear to anyone, or a shoulder to cry on. I am here for you, and you guys have been here for me through this entire experience and given me your feedback on my journey, and I'm just so thankful for that. So once again, this is Short Sleeve Tea, and I will talk to you guys again next week. Bye!